YouTube, what's happening? It's your boy C Money. We do this driving thing over here. Still trucking, still going strong in the trucking business. Right now, I am a local driver. I was over the road before. I've done regional, I've done the drive-in, the flatbed, the reefers. You know what I'm saying? Went through some things in the trucking career. I had to take a year off. Had to take a whole fucking year off. I'll explain that a little bit later. Right now, I'm working for a company here in my hometown doing in-dump. And it is 5:24 a.m. I am waiting for a truck. My dispatch time was 5 a.m. Actually, at 5 a.m., I was supposed to be headed out to Cleveland. So basically, my dispatch time was 4:30, 4:45. Enough time to get the load in and get my pre-trip done and everything. I was supposed to be in Cleveland by 6. Cleveland is a little over an hour away. That's not going to happen because, like I said, I'm stuck here waiting for a truck. I'm not going to tell you guys what company this is because this is not a mega carrier. It's a local mom and pop. What the hell is that? This is a local mom and pop trucking company. They do in-dump and they do air can for down by the gas fields. I do have a tanker endorsement, but I have never driven tanker. I've never done the air can. I do in-dump. And what I do is we load furnace coke here at the Warren, Ohio plant, and we drive it up to a steel mill in Cleveland, where they use that to produce iron and steel and all that kind of good stuff. Lately, it's been slow up in Cleveland because they're redoing the blast furnaces and everything. Today, I will be doing what's called inter-mill work, which basically means I drive up there. I sit there for 12 hours, and I wait for these tanks to fill up with what's called raw breeze. And once they fill up, I just pull in. I unload it from the tanks into the in-dump, and then I go weigh it, and I take it and I dump it. It's usually 2 loads in 12 hours. So usually you have to do a load once you get there, and then you sit forever. And usually probably an hour or 2 before you leave, you take another one. Now this job does pay hourly, so that's a plus. But the hourly pay is low with a base pay of $18.65 an hour. This is 2022. McDonald's pays $13 an hour, just to give you a little perspective here. McDonald's here pays $13 an hour. Now, this company does pay time and a half over 40. I will be in my overtime hours here today. They do have some BS called a goal zero, which is basically a bonus for not doing over the speed limit, getting to where you need to be on time, and all that kind of good stuff. It's BS. You know what I mean? And it's only an extra $3.50 an hour. So that brings my total pay up to roughly 22 and some change. Now, once you in your overtime hours, they don't calculate that. They don't calculate the $3.50 into the time and a half. So let's say at time and a half, I'll be around $29 an hour plus another $3.50, around $32, $33 an hour. Once you get over 40. Now, some things, there are really some cons about this company. I wasn't surprised about them because I just like every other truck driver, I did look it up online. And, a lot of times you could chalk it up to, you can chalk their online reviews up to like disgruntled employees. But at the same time, you have to keep in the back of your mind that they're disgruntled for a reason. And honestly, from what I could tell, on the reviews on Indeed and everything, there weren't too many lies told. Pretty much everything on there is true about this company. With that being said, I have been here since August. It is now March of 2022. I've been here since August of 21. I actually have an opportunity coming up in a few weeks to go interview for Cisco food service. A lot of y'all might be saying, oh, that's some back-breaking work, some hard work. Okay, but you got to get a little perspective on me here. Before truck driving, I was an order selector for Anderson Dubose, which is basically McDonald's warehouse or McDonald's distribution, and also for Kroger's distribution. These are really fast-paced jobs, you know what I'm saying? I'm used to running and doing high-paced work and lifting boxes and stuff like that. Even in trucking, I started trucking with Hogan on the Dollar General account. I didn't like it because the pay was too low. The work wasn't too much, the pay was too low. I also did Dollar Tree for US Express. Once again, the pay was too low. And another thing about those two jobs, they were regional. You don't get to go home at night. So if you're lucky enough to get to a truck stop, you might be able to take a shower. As if you're lucky enough to get to a truck stop, even though you've been sweating all day, you're probably not going to get to take a shower that night, which is gross. It's nasty. You know what I mean? And basically at this company here, which is local and I'm home every night, I make the same thing as if I was doing the regional or over-the-road stuff with Hogan and US Express. But the thing is, this job is more dangerous with it being an end dump because you can tip that truck over real fast, and they're high side trailers. So even just driving down the road, if you're taking a turn too fast, you can roll it. You get that bed up in the air and the wind kicks up, you can roll it. If you're dumping on level ground, you can roll it, which we actually have to do a lot, amazingly, because our safety departments. The equipment here is subpar because, first of all, they don't want to spend the money to buy the proper equipment. They try to buy the cheapest trucks possible, and this is basically like almost like a heavy haul situation here. Also, the maintenance department does not like maintaining these trucks properly. You know, you get a lot of these trucks that they have issues with them already, and they just won't fix them. Like sensors going out, alignment problems, you know, stuff like that. They just refuse to fix them for whatever reason. Try to save money. Well, the reason is they're trying to save money, which is a no-no. Basically, they don't care if you get dinged on DOT, basically. That's what I'm saying. As long as it don't affect them, which I don't see how it doesn't, but it should. The trucks are dirty. This is a dirty job. They don't clean the trucks. They don't sanitize the insides of them. They try to keep cleaning supplies in them, but at the same time, they don't. You know, they expect you to spend your money on the cleaning supplies, even though it's slip seating. I wouldn't mind if you had assigned trucks. You know what I'm saying? I could see bringing your own cleaning supplies in and then stuff, but no, it's slip seating. That's why I'm waiting on a truck now, because they didn't assign me a truck last night when they dispatched me. I get here, there's a couple trucks that I could take, but for some reason, they're like, oh no, you can't take that one. Just wait for this one. It's about 40 minutes away. You know, whatever. I'm signed in though. I'm getting paid to sit here. I'm gonna take a nap until this truck pulls in. I'll see y'all in a little bit once I get up to Cleveland. You know, I forgot my tripod at home, so I was gonna show y'all a little bit of how I load while I'm doing the intramural work, but I forgot my tripod at home, so I probably won't be able to show you that. Maybe, possibly will, but we'll see. I'll see you guys here in a little bit. Okay, so we're back up here in Cleveland. It's some hours later. It's 12:36 p.m. right now. So I just grabbed my first load. I wanted to show you guys how we load these dump trailers while we're doing what's called the furnace clean out. But there was 2 other mill employees in there at the time, and they wanted to load me. I really didn't trust them because they don't know what they're doing. So I didn't want to have my phone in my hand around them. I don't know these people. So I couldn't really show you guys how we load. What it is basically is they have these big tanks and fill up what's called with raw breeze. I think it's like a byproduct of when they use the furnace coke to make the steel or iron. I think that's like the byproduct of it. And sorry, I'm covering the camera. We just pull up underneath. There's actually 4 of them, but 2 of them are shut down right now because the furnaces are on that side are shut down. They're redoing them. So I only had to empty 2 of them. And what we do is we pull underneath of them, and we have to get out and open this, hit the switch and opens. It pours from the top, and we gotta load that way. It's really kind of asinine the way they do it, I guess. It's old school. You know what I'm saying? It's just a free-flowing, you just open it up and just free flows out. In the wintertime, the stuff freezes up. They give you like some poles to jab up in there to try to free it up. A lot of times it doesn't work. They try to put heat to it. It doesn't work. So you have to call back in there and wait for them to come, and they'll go up top and pound on it with sledgehammers and all kinds of crap. I don't know if you can see the piles right over there. That's what the raw breeze is right there. Now, if you look over here, this is coke. This is what we bring up from Warren, Ohio. That's furnace coke. This is the byproduct of it. That's the raw breeze. So I just grabbed my first one. We only do 2 of these while we're up here. I just grabbed my first one. I dumped it. I was going to show you guys the dump, but the wind picked up here. It looks like it's raining. It's actually sprinkling right now. It looks like it's probably going to storm. The wind picked up, and once you put this bed up in the air, it's like putting it's like putting a metal sail up in the air. The wind could catch it and tip you right over. So the job is actually pretty dangerous, a little nerve-wracking. That's why I think it pays too low for this job, because you are at risk here. Besides the fact that, the ground might not be even. I don't know if you guys seen the ground. There's water puddles everywhere over here. That's not ideal for dumping an end dump. It can be done. It does get done constantly. But, like I said, it's not ideal. So, right now I'm going to sit here and wait. It's about 12:40 p.m. I am going to wait till about 2:30, 3 o'clock, 14:30, 1500, to call in and get permission to grab my second load and go get it weighed and dumped and everything, just so I could get out of here, try to get out of here by 4. Because my 12 hours will be up at 5 p.m. And I typically don't tend to do over 12 hours unless I'm driving. The majority of my day I'm sitting here right now. So, what I did find one of my pay stubs from last month, which was February. We're just going to go over that real quick here. And I just want to try to fold some things out. Like I said, I don't want to show you guys the company. But if you're in the Warren, Ohio area, and you're looking at a local end dump company, you probably know which company I'm talking about already. So there's no need for me to mention any names. All you have to do is go to 422 Parkman Road, and you'll see our trucks driving up and down there all day and night. Dirty, by the way. You might see DOT with a couple of them pulled over too. DOT, we know the DOT officer by the first name, on the first name basis. That should be a red flag right there, right? Okay, so here's my pay stub. Now, as you can see, if you're looking through here, it's not like a regular pay stub. They kind of half-butted it a little bit. And honestly, when I go to apply for like loans and stuff like that, they kind of get frustrated with this pay stub. I don't know why they do it like this, even though sometimes they do use ADP, but they don't use their pay stubs for some reason. I don't know. But anyways, let's break this down a little bit. You see, I had 60 quail calm hours. This is for February 21st to the 27th. This is roughly a month later. But anyways, you can see I had 60 quail calm hours. I'm not a trainer, so there's no training hours. No training hours. I had 5 loads for that week. I don't know why they're saying I only had 5. For some reason, they're not counting the loads I did when I do the furnace clean out. I don't know why they don't count those. I think they just count the coke loads that we run up from Warren to Cleveland. Anyways, it's saying total tons hauled was 118.73. My average tons per load was 23.75 tons. Average load time is 12 hours. Now, that's not on me. That's actually on the factory, the coke mill down in Warren. They actually need to get it together down there. There's times where you'll pull in there, and that's not even the average load time. That's all the load time added together. So I don't know why they say average load time. Sometimes you'll pull in there and you'll have to wait. You'll be the only truck there. You'll be waiting an hour just to get loaded. There's times I've waited 2 hours. There's times I've waited 6. Yeah, the job pays hourly, but that sucks. So, I was on the first tier for the pay. My hourly rate was $19.29. My overtime hourly rate was $28.94. Not a trainer. Now, for that week, I ranked number 2 in the company when it comes to tons hauled and my load time, which I don't care because I don't get paid any extra money for ranking number 2 in the company. I don't know why they even bother putting that on there. Now, the Coke Breeze bonus, which is what I'm doing today, it's the raw breeze. They pay you an extra $32 a day for doing that. Oh, okay. Whatever. Why don't you make it $32 an hour? How about that? That'd be something some real money. Now, no trainer. Now, my gross hourly pay was $1,382.30. Vacation pay, I didn't take a vacation. My goal 0, which is their bonus for not going over the speed gauge, not wrecking anything, and basically not taking off the wrong people. I got an extra $210 for that week. So that brought my gross pay up to $1,592.30 for that week. Now, if you notice on here, it doesn't tell you what your net pay was because it doesn't tell you any of your deductions. And that's what makes a lot of when I go to apply for loans and stuff, that's what makes a lot of the people mad. And sometimes I have been denied loans because of that, which is crazy. So, yeah, there's that. Now, looking at this, you see I had 60 quail calm hours, and I only grossed $1,592.30. You know, that's for 60 hours. That's not a lot. I mean, how many actual hours are in a week? You know what I mean? And I might have worked. Let me see. I either worked 5 12s here, or I actually picked up an extra day. Anyways, So that's another reason I'm thinking about getting back into the touch freight and going into food service, because what I gross there, like, okay, so we go to, we're talking about Cisco, right? Which I do have an interview there coming up Thursday, I want to say. whatever the 24th is. I do have an interview coming up there. The base pay there is $26.65. That means you will go no lower than $26.65 per hour. And as you guys saw, my overtime pay, my time and a half pay was $28.94 at this company. Now, mind you, at Cisco, you're gonna end up getting like paid for your cases, how fast you do your stops, and all other kinds of stuff. Not to mention the benefits are way better. I have friends that work there. I look up the videos on the internet and all that kind of stuff. Here, you're going to work every single weekend, Saturday and Sunday. In order to get the weekends off, you have to be here for some years, which is really unfair, and that's why they can't keep drivers here. They don't really seem to understand that or really care until they're losing drivers. That's when they care, but they still won't change the fact that, or they still won't change that we keep telling them they need to rotate weekends. That way people start getting weekends off because we have families at home, and a lot of our families work throughout the week. Like for instance, I have Thursdays and Fridays off. My girlfriend and my kids don't. They have the weekends off, which I don't, and in order to actually go to family events, spend time with my kids, I actually have to request off a Saturday and a Sunday. They don't make up for it. Like, they won't say, okay, well, since you requested this off in advance, your normal days off are Thursday and Friday. We'll go ahead and call you in for those days and you can have the weekend off. No, they don't do that. They don't rotate the weekends. Honestly, it's just lazy scheduling. They don't want to take the extra time to be like, you worked these past 2 weekends, we're going to give you a weekend off here. You were off these past 2 weekends, you have to come in this weekend. They just don't want to do it, When I brought it up to the HR people back in like September, her answer was that they weren't smart. They weren't smart enough to do it. Which is really nerve-wracking. So, going back to Touch Free, I'm excited about it though. Actually, I'm a hard worker. I'm not afraid of hard work. I'm an Army veteran. I've been working since I was 12 years old. Just doing, when I was a teenager, I had my own landscape with me and a couple friends. You guys know I've done Dollar General, which the work wasn't bad. It sucked because they loaded those rotainers way too heavy, like 1,000 pounds. 1,000 pounds of salt, 1,000 pounds of water. Yeah, that's just dumb. And the pay was extremely low. When they would give you like $24 for a stop, that stop would take you 3 hours. And they only pay you $24 for it. Not $24 an hour, $24. So, and you might have like 27 rotainers to unload at that one stop, and you can only put 3 at a time on your lift gate. Not to mention, Dollar General's trailers, their equipment was straight junk. I had at least one breakdown on the trailer itself at least once a week. Now, what I mean by breakdowns, that means flat tires and all kinds of stuff. I don't mean flat tires when I'm driving down the road and the tire goes flat. I mean like when I go to the distribution center and pick up my trailer, the tire is flat. And I have to drive it to the shop and either wait for that shop to open so they can fix my tire, or just wait for them to fix the tire, which I don't get paid for it. I didn't get paid extra for that. I don't understand. And I actually watched their yard dogs pull trailers away from the DC and go take them to the parking with a flat tire instead of taking it to get the tire fixed. They just leave it for the drivers to do it. That pissed a lot of drivers off. So, there's that. That's the reason I left the Dollar General. Plus, not to mention, that was my first trucking gig, and I wanted to experience in doing other stuff. I wanted to actually try flatbed, which I went and did with Western Express, and that was a whole nightmare. I don't advise anybody going to Western Express unless, for some reason or another, I don't judge the drivers, but unless for some reason or another you have to go there to get your time in, or just to get a job or whatever. That's the only way I would advise you going to Western Express. But if you don't have to go there, if you have options, don't go. Don't do that one. No. They put you in a Roach Motel. They told me I was going to be there 5 days. I ended up being there like 2 weeks. Even though I had, at the time, I think I had like 4 or 5 months driving solo. They said they were going to put me with a trainer, which, I didn't object to it. But they ended up not putting me with the trainer and just sending me out on my own, and they tried to screw me over and all kinds of things. This dispatch was extremely shady. So Western Express didn't last long for me, and I left Western Express and I went to Jordan Carriers, which I actually have their shirt on right now, out of Natchez, Mississippi, which actually wasn't a bad company. They had really good equipment. They had really good pay. It's just there, they try to play on words. When they say, now, a recruiter will tell you, hey, we'll get you home every weekend. Once you get there, they'll tell you, we'll try to get you home every weekend, or most weekends. And they don't try. They didn't have enough freight. I'm from Ohio. This place is out of Mississippi. They didn't have enough freight in my area to get me home on a weekend on a consistent basis. Even though I explained to them, hey, I'm divorced, I do have custody of my kids. I do like to spend weekends with my kids. If for some reason you can't get me home, do not wait till Friday afternoon, Friday evening to tell me that you cannot get me home. You need to let me know on Thursday so I can make arrangements with my children. Do you think they did it? No. There would be times I would be in Kentucky getting a load that goes to Toledo on Friday. Now, in case you're not familiar with, Ohio, I live in northeastern Ohio. Toledo is northwestern Ohio. And it's literally only 2 hours from my house. I could have took a load home on Friday and delivered that load Monday morning like it was scheduled to be. No, they wanted me to go straight to Toledo and sit there all weekend. Now, the last straw with me with Jordan Carriers was, where were we at? I think I was in South Carolina. I was loading on a Thursday for Nashville. It was a load that had to be in Nashville on Friday. But in front of me was another Jordan driver, and me and him just happened to be talking. He was extremely mad because he was from Nashville, and they were giving him a load to go to Cleveland, Ohio, which is where I'm at right now. I'm actually sitting in the shadow of the Cleveland skyline. So I told him, I said, well, that's kind of weird because my load goes to Nashville and delivers tomorrow. So we called in the dispatch just to see if he was already loaded. We called in the dispatch to see if I could take his trailer and he could take mine and load that and go to Nashville. They denied it. That goes to show you don't care. You know what I mean? He had to sit in Cleveland all weekend. When I got to Nashville, they wanted to send me somewhere else. I just gave them my 2 weeks notice right then and there on the phone. Week and a half goes by, and I did tell them, because I had TVs and refrigerators, my Xbox was in the truck. I said, hey, you guys need to, run me through the house so I can unload this stuff. I would drive the rest of the week naked, just roughing it. I would bring the truck back, and I would take a bus back. They tried to play with me. They didn't route me through the house at all so I can offload it. They wanted to run me right back to Mississippi and then figure out on my own how I was going to get all the stuff back. Oh, you can take a bus back from here? Yeah, how am I going to get my stuff back? I can't take all this stuff on the bus. Are you going to pay for me to ship it? No? Okay, well, guess what? I'm going home. If you guys give me some shit, I will leave this truck at home, and you will have to come get it. So, I did what I had to do. They gave me some shit. I did what I had to do. I tried to be cordial about it. I tried to do it the right way, but I don't know. They just issues. So I left Jordan Carriers, which was flatbed, and I actually signed on to USF Holland, which was a local gig out of North Lima, Ohio, which is about 15 minutes from where I live at now. So I went there, and they wanted me to get a hazmat endorsement, which was cool. You know, I had to wait a few months before I could, I was eligible because I made some questionable decisions back in my younger days that I was still paying for. So I had to wait for a while to get my hazmat. Once I did finally get it, they said, oh, well, we don't, things will slow down. We're going to keep you on the dock as a forklift driver. I got in the truck, and so I don't have to drive a forklift again. I was already a certified forklift driver. They didn't pay much. They paid $12 an hour. They thought I was going to stay on the dock and work there throughout October and November, freezing my butt off. Heck no. I was missing out on money. So I left there and went to US Express, which I did the Dollar Tree account. Now, I wanted to try lease purchase. I know. But it was a walkaway lease, so I went ahead and gave it a try. I made some money. Now, the thing what happened with US Express, now I actually would have stayed there. That Dollar Tree was hand unload. Your trailer is full from top to bottom. It's not on pallets. Full from top or from bottom all the way up to the top with your boxes, and you gotta, use your rollers and roll the stuff into the store, and you gotta wait for the people down there to unload it. It was a lot of work. I was in phenomenal shape, which I loved, and so what happened was I had got pulled over in my personal vehicle. I got pulled over. It was a questionable pullover, just to be honest. And I had literally just let my insurance lapse, one or two. And I was in the middle of getting new insurance, but I hadn't got it yet because I was checking prices, and I got pulled over. So anyways, it was my second time getting pulled over without insurance. My second time in 4.5 years. I had to serve a year suspension on my regular driver's license, which affected my CDL. So I had to be out of trucking for a whole year. I came back. When I came back to trucking last year, which was 2020, I signed on with, back on with Hogan, but this was on the Save-A-Lot account, which was out of Austinburg, Ohio, which is up by, it's not too far from here, Cleveland. It's up by Ashtabula, if you're familiar with the area. Didn't pay crap. It's a job that should pay hourly, but they pay mileage. And it's a local job. You're home every night. So I don't, they're, whatever. I stayed there for a few months and, got my experience back, got used to back driving the truck. I was with the trainer for about a week or two. Honestly, he shouldn't have been a trainer. He was really, I drove way better than he did. When he drove, he almost wrecked us a few times. If it wasn't for me paying attention, we would have wrecked. Creamed cars. I mean, really wrecked. So I stayed with Hogan, got my time back in. And of course, it didn't pay anything. It was supposed to be 6 days a week. So what we would do is Monday and Tuesday, we would run our loads. And it was no touch freight, but they wanted you to get out and just count the pieces as the managers were pulling them off. Y'all don't trust y'all own store managers? You know what I mean? Well, I gotta get out and count what they're taking off. Whatever. You know what I mean? And it paid $12 per stop. You would have, like, say in the morning, you would have one whole trailer that went to one store. So that's one stop. You gotta watch them unload that whole trailer. Then you go back to the DC, you pick up another trailer. That trailer might have 2 stops on it. So then you run those 2 stops. Work wasn't hard at all. You wore whatever you wanted. You didn't have to wear steel toes or nothing like that. The equipment was okay, and they actually serviced their equipment. That's one thing about Hogan. Their own equipment, they service the crap out of it. If you have any issues, you just take it right over to the shop. More than likely, if you're working out of like a DC for Hogan, they have a shop somewhere right around you. And you just take it there, they'll get it fixed. Now, unless it's the middle of the night where they don't have mechanics on duty, you're going to have to wait or just roll out like that. But as far as the pay, I think I might have brought home $800 a week. So now on Wednesdays, it was a slow day. So they would want you to come in. If they had you come in, sometimes you wouldn't even come in. They would have you come in and say you would run and do, it was reefer trailers. The trailers were reefer, so you would run the trailers up to the trailer wash. Excuse me. Get the trailers washed out, or say you would run over to Great Lakes Cheese Factory and pick some stuff up, or run down to Columbus to Fanta and pick up a load of pop and bring it back or something like that. And for y'all that's not from around here, pop is soda like Coke, Pepsi, or whatever. It's pop. We call it pop, damn it. So yeah, you would do that, and Thursday and Friday would be back to the normal grind. And then they want you come in on Saturday. And it's like, okay, well, why don't y'all switch that up to make Saturday the slow day? Or just not have us come in on Saturday, you know what I mean? So you would get like one day off. Your pay was low. Didn't make sense. It didn't make money, so it didn't make sense, right? We here chasing money. We here for the money. We paper chasing, you know what I'm saying? This is what we're about. We are not here to make other people money. We're here to make money for ourselves, support our family, you know, do the things that we like, buy the things that we like, you know, watches, little punk jewelry, you know, necklaces and stuff like that. So that's what we're here for, you know, and trying to invest in some crypto and stuff like that. We're not here to mess around, you know. I think a lot of the mega carriers don't understand that. Well, I mean, they do understand that. They just don't care because they know their drivers are replaceable. They see drivers as dime a dozen. Take it as you may, whatever. So, yeah, here you make a little more money. You're doing a little less work. Me, I'd rather go bust my booty and make some good money. You know, I'm not a lazy person. You know, I'm a little heavy right now. I am a weightlifter. I'm coming off a bulking cycle. And it's actually really hard on me right now because you see what I'm doing. I'm sitting here. You know, I could actually get out and walk, but it's dangerous. There's actually coyotes that roam around here, and I'm not trying to box any coyotes right now. Not to mention all the heavy equipment running around here and stuff. So, really can't get out and do too much. When I get home, I'm really going to have probably like 3 to 4 hours to probably hit the gym, plus cook my dinner, talk to my kids, my girl for a little bit. You know what I mean? That's a lot. I'm going to be ripping and running when I get home, but I'm used to that. Once, you know, I get ready for this interview for Cisco, you know, I'll do another video on that, interview video or whatever. You know, fingers crossed I do get the job. I'm looking forward to it. That's going to help me, not only with my pay, it's not only going to help my wallet, it's going to help me with my fitness journey too. Well, you know, I'll document that stuff too. That'll help me get this weight back off. What am I at right now? I'm at 225 pounds. My normal weight is usually around 205. When I'm dieting heavy, it's around 190, 185, 190. But usually I'm like 200, 205 with a six-pack. You know, I'm 5'9". I'm kind of a thicker guy. You know what I mean? I have big arms, you know, big legs, big chest. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna let you guys know. How that goes. Keep on doing these videos. You know, I always say I'm gonna keep doing the videos, but actually, I'm gonna commit to it this time, for real. it's just too much money being made out here on these channels and YouTube and stuff. You know, too much extra money. You know what I'm saying? I could put money into it. I got cameras. You know, I ordered some cameras on the way. So you know, if I spend some money on it, I'm really about to commit to it, because I'm not into just, you know, blowing money unless it's on like jewelry and watches and cars and stuff like that. Speaking of the cars, I don't even really drive anything too special right now. I drive an Equinox. It's a newer one. But we will be renting some sports cars. I have friends with sports cars too that we're going to drive, especially now that the, you know, spring is here, weather's getting back nice. We're going to drive some of these sports cars. I got a friend with a 5.0, a couple friends with Hemis, you know, so we about to be really rolling. I really do be doing this driving stuff. I love driving, you know what I mean? Especially like fast cars and stuff like that. So we're going to do some videos on that. It's not going to just be about trucking, because, you know, this is See Money Drives, you know what I mean? I'm going to try to get in. I've been wanting to get into motorcycles for the longest. I think I'm finally going to go ahead and do it this year. Maybe. There's a lot of other things that I want though too. So I mean, I do kind of want to go ahead and buy a sports car of my own. But yeah, when I'm not going to be driving friends' sports cars, we're going to be renting them and putting them on the channel and everything. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys like that little pay breakdown. I will be bringing you guys a interview video from Cisco. You know what I mean? And you know, fingers crossed I get in there. Once I get in there, I'll start bringing you more videos about that, how that's going. We're gonna bring some videos about my personal life into it too, you know, and try to interview a couple other drivers. You know, let you know, little drivers that's been in it longer than me. I have, I guess he's kind of like a mentor. I grew up across the street from him. I used to clean his truck when I was a kid. He's an owner-op flatbed. Now, I don't know if he's still doing it. He was running from, I want to say Warren, Ohio or Cleveland, Ohio, down to Florida and back. And it would take him about 3 days a week. And he was making bank. Owned his own truck, paid off and everything. He was making bank. A lot of times he would just stay down in Florida, do like a little mini vacay with his family and everything and stuff like that. He had a pretty nice sweet gig going on. So I try to get a little interview with him. He's got some decades in the game, you know what I mean? I got a couple friends here that work here at this current company that have been here for years, and you guys will get to, you know, they'll tell you some more of the pros and cons about this particular company. If you kind of have an idea what company I'm talking about, you want a little more info, leave like an email address down in the comments. I will let you know. I will get back to you and let you know. I mean, I do have a lot of complaints about the company, but at the same time, you want to stay local and make a little more bread. Hey, it's not bad in that sense. If you can afford, you know, if you don't really have to be home on the weekends, you know, it's not a bad gig, you know. But you know, my kids pretty much had enough, because they actually haven't been able to stay the night at my house since last summer, because I don't like leaving my kids at home alone on the weekends. And sometimes we do run Michigan. We run to Dearborn, to another steel mill up in Dearborn, Michigan. It's usually about 3 to 4 hours up there, depending on the weather. You know, in the wintertime, it's obviously a lot longer. And not to mention, these trucks are governed at 65. Excuse me. A lot of times when we do run up to Dearborn, they try to give us trucks that aren't governed, and we can run up to 70. But a lot of times, they just give you whatever truck, and you're running the turnpike, which is 70 mile an hour at 65. So yeah, I don't like leaving my kids. I don't like going that far away from the house and leaving my kids. I do live by myself, so that's not, you know, if something happens to one of my kids and I'm in a whole nother state, that's not a good look, you know what I mean? So, and I actually had told my dispatcher that before, and they still didn't listen. They still wanted to run me up there. I tried to tell them, hey, if you guys want to run me up there, that's fine, but you got to let me know the day before. Like, early the day before. Not the night before, early the day before. And they tend to, you know, still do it anyways. So, yeah, I will be talking to you guys here in a little bit. Please like the video, subscribe, or dislike it. Whatever. Y'all want to dislike the video? Engagement helps me anyways.